Hi, I'm James Kotecki. You're here with me in the C-Space Influencer Studio, and here with us, back in the studio once again, Peter Naylor, SVP, Head of Ad Sales for Hulu. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, James. Thanks for having me.
So I think everybody here at CES has probably heard of Hulu before, but I'm always curious, how do you define Hulu?
Well, technically, Hulu is a streaming video platform, but the way we think and talk about it is that Hulu is TV. You know, 79% of the viewing happens in a living room environment. We've got the best of this year's broadcast and cable. In addition, we've got 85,000 episodes of television. We've got movies. We've got Hulu originals. We've got a live platform as well. So pretty much anything you can find on TV, we want people to find through Hulu. Just to round it out, you know, we've got the premium add-ons available with HBO, Showtime, Cinemax, and Starz. So again, Hulu is TV, on demand, live. It's all there.
And you've got a show, Killing Eve, that is so good that I saw in the last couple of days Netflix actually tweeted people to watch it.
Yeah. So
congratulations on that.
Thank you. I mean, that show is pretty extraordinary. Sandro just won a Golden Globe for it on Sunday night, and it did come from the BBC, but it just goes to show you, we have it now exclusively. So content really is so important when you have exclusives, and that show in particular is awesome. When you have exclusives like that and originals that really cement Hulu as part of people's viewing behavior, like that's everything.
I know you just released some new numbers for this year, so can you give us the scope of what those numbers are?
Yeah, every CES we kind of update the world on how the health and vitality of the company. We're really proud to announce that we have reached 25 million subscribers. When it comes to ad sales, what I do, we grew almost 50%. We're up to 1.5 billion in advertising.
50%? 50?
Yeah. Last year it was about $1 billion at CES, and now it's just under 1.5 billion.
Congratulations.
So it was a big year. Again, 85,000 episodes, engagement's up. Everything is healthy and vital at Hulu right now.
I also saw that I think you were in a Hulu ad that I happened to see. The Never Get Hulu, It'll Ruin TV Forever ads that have a number of famous people. And I was like, hey, I know that guy.
Yeah.
So this ad is kind of saying, Never Get Hulu, it ruins TV forever. The idea behind that is, are you trying to say to people you can get Hulu and just kind of cut the cord? This going along with this idea of Hulu is TV. Is that your message? Hulu should be your everything?
Yeah, I mean, the whole campaign is better ruins everything. So if you get courtside seats, it ruins the nosebleeds. If you sit up front and first class in an airplane, it ruins coach forever. And we're saying if you get Hulu, it ruins TV forever, because everything's on demand on any screen. You can choose live or on demand. You can choose with or without ads. You can choose any screen, anytime, anywhere. And that idea is that this is better television. This is a better way to get your TV. So the question about are we ready to tell people you can come to Hulu and put the old way aside forever? I think the answer is yes, because of all of those choices people have, particularly if you're a consumer with our live package. The live package comes with 60 channels, all the 60 channels you really care about, plus our on-demand assets, which is from 200 other content providers. And again, it's choice, choice, choice. Do you want it live TV or on demand? You want it with or without ads, any screen, anytime, anywhere. So when you have all that in one place, I think it's pretty easy to say, you get that, and you can supplement it with a couple other services. You've got an abundance of television. You don't need to do the old way. The old way is better.
You mean the new way is better?
The new way is better. What did I say?
I think you said the old way is better.
No,
but I'm just the
new
way. The new way's
better.
got to be better, right?
Yes.
So I want to talk about the idea that people can choose between commercial-sponsored or ad-supported version, and then for a little bit more they can buy no commercial version. When people buy the ad-supported version, they are effectively opting in to say, yes, I am paying money to a thing that I know will give me ads.
Yes.
Does that mean that they are more engaged in the ads because they've proactively chosen that option?
Yeah, so cognitive dissonance says that when you make a choice, you want to see if you made the right choice. So yes, we are elevating the awareness that advertising is making this possible. They have opted into this version of the platform. They're saving money, or they just know that advertising is part of popular culture, and on and on and on. So we're elevating the role of advertising in the whole communication and video and TV experience. So that's a good thing. And we've had this option for over 3 years now. So it's safe to say that the vast majority of the people who are watching Hulu have chosen this way. And what that means is that we can't just take them for granted either, by the way. It's like, well, they chose ads, so just serve them a bunch of ads.
Right.
We're ever respectful of the ad experience because they are one click away from shifting over to a commercial-free environment. So we're very careful. We've capped the ad exposure to 90-second pods. We're using as much data as smartly as possible to make relevant ad decisioning. We're coming up with new non-intrusive ad models. Like, we're trying to be, again, as respectful as possible for the people who have said, you know what, I'll take the ad-supported version, no problem.
And do people switch back and forth between ad-supported and not?
We really don't see that kind of switching happening. If anything, with the introduction of the live service about a year and a half ago, we've seen people take the SVOD Hulu and say, you know what, I'll take the live package as well. So then you've got your on-demand stuff as well as your live channels. And the live channels, the majority of the viewing for live is news and sports. Chances are better than good. If they want to watch their favorite comedy or drama, we'll serve them the VOD asset. So the most interesting insight is that for people who subscribe to our live package, over 50% of the viewing is time shifted. And that's the better way, right? It's just like, whatever you want to watch, we'll serve you the best version of what you want to watch. And if it's the ball game, we'll serve you the live ball game. And if it's Killing Eve, well, it's all on demand, all bingeable, all ready for you.
All right.
Yeah.
So we're talking about how Hulu can kind of be your everything, how Hulu can be TV. One challenge to that, though, is that other streaming platforms, competitors of yours, also make exclusive shows that people also might really want to watch. So I might have to get Netflix and CBS All Access and whatever Disney's going to come out with, and Hulu, just to get the kinds of shows that I want to watch, because everybody's making a lot of great content these days. Is there a risk of consumer burnout, whether their wallet gets thin or their attention span starts to fray as they have to package all these things themselves?
Yeah, I think there's room for, in consumers' minds, to have more than a couple of relationships with these providers, but I think it's a handful, right? So you'll have the biggest aggregators like Hulu and Amazon and Netflix, and then I think the other winners would be the really vertical niche services. I think if you're in the in-between, you're in a tough spot. I think people who have not that deep a library or not distinct enough offering, I think you'll see them bulking up with the aggregators or trying to figure out how do we go really, really vertical. Because anybody who's in video is probably going to try getting into a subscription video, on-demand, OTT space.
Yeah.
So many will try, many probably will fail, and they'll have to figure out either go really niche or bulk up because of that fatigue factor.
And Hulu's been around, what, for 10 years now?
About 11, over 11.
Yeah, so you also have significant momentum and experience in the space that others don't have.
Yeah, I was joking in the fourth quarter that we're the Ghost of Christmas future, right? We've seen a lot of where things are going. What's interesting to me is you see a lot of the linear broadcasting cable providers talking about some magical day in the future where everything is addressable. That's Hulu today. Where they're much lighter ad loads, that's Hulu today. Where everything is data informed, that's us. You know, so where everything is on demand, and like everything where all of TV will end up someday through an IP address, all on demand, on your terms, is 100% of what we've been doing for 11 years. So we kind of are a glimpse of the future, I think.
Well, let's talk about another technology that doesn't seem like the future for it is arriving as quickly as we might have thought. We spoke last year about this virtual reality, and I know Hulu is a player in that space, but do you think about it differently here at the beginning of 2019? It just seems like VR hasn't kind of caught on as much as people might have thought.
Well, I think almost any real innovation has that curve. We have the hype, and then the trough, and then it'll resume its growth curve. I think we're approaching the resumption of the growth curve. I think that will be accelerated greatly by one of the big topics of CES this year, which is 5G. When you have all this 5G power, real-time VR, AR will be more likely, and you know, it really is pretty dazzling stuff. So I think it's still coming. You know, it's like Major League Soccer. It'll be big next year, trust me.
Okay.
But I think it's pretty cool. It's pretty obvious that there's going to be a place for it. It's just taking a little bit longer than the hype cycle expected, but I think it'll resume. I mean, our place in it, I would say we're kind of adjacent to it. We've done nice projects with Live Nation, Riot Studios. We've had some advertisers play along, but it's still a nascent part of our business and an adjacency to our core video.
And the idea with Hulu, I think, we talked about this last year, the idea that you'd have a VR setup and it would be a really nice looking living room where you could watch your TV.
Yep, that's
right?
one application
Yeah.
for sure.
But would you, in terms of creating kind of VR-specific content, is that on the horizon as well?
I think we're, like most people, we want to see what happens with Oculus and the hardware. We've had some experimentation with the content, so it's not one of my big messages this year, so we're waiting for that resumption to kick in again.
Great. Well, let's end on a big message. What are you most excited about for 2019?
Well, I mean, my whole message to our customers and everybody we're meeting with at CES is just one of growth and momentum. It was about this time last year, we really saw this inflection point of consumer behavior married with our massive growth with originals all kick in, and that speaks to some of the numbers I spoke to earlier, our 25 million subs. I mean, the growth is kind of breathtaking, and so what I'm most looking forward to is being able to march around CES and the country, spreading the good word about, hey, there's a better way of watching TV. It's just about growth, momentum, and the opportunity in the space that we're enjoying right now.
Well, Peter Naylor of Hulu, thanks so much for joining us to talk about all that.
Yeah, thank you.
And thank you for joining me and Peter here in the C-Space Influencer Studio here at CES 2019. Keep it right here because more great conversations are just ahead.